You know, sometimes I be understanding why they used to whoop ass back in the day. I'm not saying they was right, but I understand it. You give them up the free ring to just say whatever they want to, and they get on an app and say, I'm not attracted to my husband. Now imagine, you got the steel meal, you busting your ass, paying all them bills, you coming home late as hell, dirt tired, gotta get back up at 4 in the morning, go back out there so you can get this woman whatever life she can dream of. And that get on an app and tell some folks you don't know and a couple more you do that she not really attracted to you. I'll rewind the hands of time around this bitch. I turn this into 1942. Please.
So the reason that men don't care about your career the way that women care about a man's career is because when is a man going to have the opportunity to be fully taken care of by his wife?
Do you get approached or do you get dates? No. See, the goal of the muscles was to be like, hey, whoa, like she's got muscles, she's so cool. But people are just afraid of me. I don't know why.
I think you're right. I think that it's immoral for somebody to do that. But I also have heard you come in here twice, and I don't want to fight you. I've also heard you come in here twice and say, y'all stupid ass men, y'all don't have no intuition. Women got all the intuition. So to that, I say, where's the women's intuition to read the next line? With the
it's no. That's no.
What's it like to have guy friends? Terrible. I made some guy friends. I heard it was all the rage. And they just are ragging on me. They're ragging on me all the time. They say I look like Lord Farquaad.
It's always, oh, you need to love yourself. You need to love yourself. Okay, so you break up with that man and love yourself. You break up with that man and love yourself. If it's the same thing, if it feels so good, you take yourself out to dinner. You trick on yourself. You charge up that rose and get to... Exactly.
So my homeboy said that women giving women relationship advice is the blinding of the blind. And I'm like, why are you right? Because I definitely just made the worst decisions after getting off the phone with my homegirl.
No, young men, are you okay? No, are you okay? What is going on? Like, I've been seeing this firsthand. I've been kicking out with people like Cookie King and going to the East Squad house and like, dude, like, what is going on with you?
Like, I wish I was enough to make somebody be like, life is hard right now, but I like this girl or she's worth sticking around for.
I just noticed the connection they had. The laughs they showed together, the way they looked at each other. And you'd think it'd sound really romantic, but the only problem was I was dating Rachel at the time.
I know I am going to get married, and
you know,
I know that.
You know that.
We can make a bet tonight.
Now, here's the amazing. I bet if I caught you at age 21 and I asked you the same thing, you say, I know I'm going to be married. And I said, well, by when? You'd probably say, by 25, I'll be married. I have 2 kids by 27. That would have been your story because it's a common story.
Okay.
And that's the problem with delusion.
That wasn't my story.
I see you could say that now. You could say that now, but it doesn't add up. There's no way a young woman was thinking that she'd be 33, single, no prospects, and no kids.
Dang, man, fight back. Say something back. Don't let them do you like that.
That's my mom putting gas because she got no man. Ay, good girl.
The prayer emoji at the end of that comment is crazy.
I hate when girls be like, oh, I act just like a woman, find yourself within the DL. Because he like that about you. He like that masculine energy. My
3 boys were asking me, Mom, what are you getting us for Valentine's Day? And I said, nothing. Valentine's Day is for girls.
No, she's not done yet, so just wait.
You in trouble as a grown man. I did not raise a child to be in his feminine energy with women.
We can't sit here and tell boys this and then wonder why they all end up hating women. My husband informed me this year that he had never been given chocolates before. Look at this man. Men and boys deserve to be celebrated. They deserve to enjoy also being treated well. And Tree did. These are my kids. So excited to finish the gifts that we got them for Valentine's Day. My son sewed this, and my oldest made these roses. There is nothing masculine or feminine about enjoying a holiday and being celebrated for it. Let's stop placing adult ideologies on young children, young boys, young girls. Like, if you don't want to get your kids anything for Valentine's Day, that's fine. But let's not say that getting something on Valentine's Day is feminine energy when it's really just toxic masculinity.
If you ever feel bad about yourself, don't. Yesterday I was on a date with the hottest man I'd ever seen in my entire life. He was a gentleman from start to finish, truly like such a sweet guy, like genuinely an amazing person. And halfway through the night of hanging out, he offered me a Zyn. I'd never had a Zyn, and I'd never had that amount of nicotine delivered to my body in such a short period of time. So I went from feeling pretty good to throwing up in his sink. He held my hair back and made sure I was okay. And because he lives on a military base, he's part of the Air Force, his appliances aren't that good. So he proceeded to scoop my vomit out of the sink with his bare hands. I offered to help. I begged him not to clean it up and to let me clean it up. He wouldn't let me. He would not let me.
Okay guys, please clarify this for me. When women comment these types of things on another man's post, how is that any different from a man commenting the same thing or the equivalent on a woman's post? Because I know that men would immediately get cancelled, and they have been cancelled a lot of times for commenting inappropriate and explicit comments on another woman's post, especially on their body. And specifically in the Aaron Pierre Mufasa thing, I saw a lot of women commenting how they could see his print and a lot of comments surrounding his pants, which is exactly why, or according to this article, why Jennifer Hudson had to delete the comments or like block the comments. And it's funny because whenever I bring up the double standard, people always say that, oh, but women don't have the same systemic power to commit atrocities to men in real life and to harass men in real life, the same way that men harass women and commit atrocities to women in real life. So the double standard isn't, it's not the same thing if we reverse the roles. Which I guess it is true that women don't have the same systemic power, but how does that make women exempt from being immoral? So then, where do we draw the line? Are women exempt from acting immorally as long as they act immorally towards their oppressor? And it's really weird because it feeds onto this line of thinking of perfect victims or absolute victims and absolute oppressors. The victim can never do anything wrong because they're in a system or in a context that oppresses them, so they can never do anything wrong. And that's just, I don't know, it doesn't really sit right with me. And I don't mean to put myself on a moral pedestal because I've made those jokes before. I've sent so many comments of those to my friends, like laughing and like agreeing. But then I thought to myself, that's weird. If a man commented that on my TikTok, I would genuinely block him. I don't know, comment down below and tell me what you think.
Yet another reason why men would rather be alone, stay single, not approach women, not having anything to do with women.
So y'all look at this post. No, because I think he forgot who I was. Who's gonna tell her, y'all? Who's gonna tell her? Y'all, I literally have been an influencer for I don't know how many years now. I have 600K on YouTube, almost 400K on Instagram, and I have three different TikToks. If you think that you have a million options, you're crazy. Yeah, there's guys that want to hit it. Yeah, there's guys that want to blow your back out. Yeah, there's guys that are hard-eyeing your stuff, but they're window shopping. They're not going to take you serious. If they were going to take you serious, and if you had so many options, you'd be in relationships all the time, but you're not. And here's my one big thing that women always fail to realize. Men might do certain things with 304s, but when it comes to their women, they're going to be repulsed by you bringing up another guy. When you try to make a man jealous, you've already lost. That's why I tell you guys, when you get out of relationships and you go sleeping with other people and going doing all these things, you've lost the chance of getting that guy back. What person's going to want a sloppy second type of person? And here's my mindset. If you ever threaten me with, look at all the people I have, the fact that you're so desperate looking through your likes to see who wants it is crazy. That doesn't show confidence. That shows desperate. Like I said, I have a lot of followers. I don't go through my likes of my story. Do you know why? Because I don't give a damn. I post it. I go and do what I gotta do. I'm not in there looking like who's looking at it. Who does that? Don't get me wrong. I understand doing it every now and then, but to try to flex on someone like that is a flex. I'm here to tell you, I guarantee you a guy is going to look at you and go, damn, she's a 304. And if he never looked at you that way, you made him see that. Literally. I'm telling you now, I would even think the same thing. If somebody ever tried to threaten me with, oh, well, there's other people on my body. Where are they? If they wanted you so bad, why aren't they at the face front to get you? Exactly, because they don't want you. It's called imaginary options. Social media has given a lot of women this delusional mindset that men want to court them and this and that. Don't you guys say in the same sentence that men just want to and don't show effort? Men are ain't shit, men. Now all of a sudden men want to cuff you up, wine and dine. Which one is it, ladies? Hurry up. Which one is it? Straddling the fence is wild. Like I said, trying to make somebody jealous, the dumbest thing you could do. The biggest revenge for anybody is to move on, do good for yourself, and not do things revengefully because somebody's watching you. Gosh, can't you guys just like move forward and that's it? I'm sorry, y'all. Once I'm done with somebody, I'm not going to look back and, oh, maybe he'll see this post. Maybe he'll see all the guys out and want me. I don't do that, y'all. I'm living for me now. Like, once you say sayonara to me, sayonara, my brother. Adios, papi. I'm not going to be doing all that jealous, weird back and forth stuff. To me, tit for tat shows your maturity level as a person.
We glorify men making money. We put all of the value into how much money a man makes. And how is that fair to the man? My husband is amazingly valuable in so many ways, long before it has nothing to do with money. I'll say this and I'll say it again. I loved him when he was on the couch, sleeping on the couch with nothing. I loved him then. I love him the same way now. As his woman, as his wife, it is my role to protect him and lift him up emotionally and spiritually, because that can become a weight on him. So I have to constantly remind him, like, babe, you are successful without the numbers. Money. We've had nothing before. You know, like we've had nothing before. Who cares? What I care about more is the fact I get to spend time with my husband. I could give a damn if we bringing in $1 or $10,000. I get to spend time with my husband. That's success to me.
I keep refilming this video because I keep getting upset because I'm tired of the gaslighting. I'm tired of the back and forth from women who consistently contradict their statements. If romantic love doesn't mean anything, if all you need is community, friends, and family, why are you laid up next to a man every night? Why? Why are you in a relationship? Why are you bragging about your happy and healthy relationship and this man that you're going to marry and have kids with if none of that stuff matters? Because it matters to you because you know it fulfills something in you that is very different than what you get from familial and platonic relationships. You know it, I know it, and I'm tired of the self-righteous bullshit that you guys tell yourselves every day because you just don't have an answer when people wonder why they're still alone. And you can just say that you got lucky. I would be fine with that. But I'm sick and tired of people getting on the internet and saying that you just need to love yourself more. Do you know how hard it is to love yourself when every time you like somebody, they tell you you're ugly or you're not good enough, and it's been happening your entire life? To go through all of your formative years, your 20s, almost your 30s, and watch everyone around you experience intimacy and romance, and you want it so badly and you can't have it because for some reason something's obviously wrong with you. And I get it, like it may not be me, it may not be other women who experience this, but it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And instead of just making space for the so-called community and understanding why we feel this way and why that has an effect on your self-esteem, you preach at us and tell us that, you know, we're centering men and we need to detach these relationships. Fuck all that. I'm sorry. I'm so sick of this. You have no idea what it feels like because you have had love reciprocated on more than one occasion, and maybe you choose to be single, but it's a choice. It's a choice. That's the difference. I'm so sick and tired of women who met their soulmate walking down the frozen food aisle at the local Kroger preaching at me about all that I need to do to find a man. Screw you and screw whatever self-righteous bullshit you try to, tout on everyone else because you don't have an answer. Just be true about it. You got lucky. I'm tired of all this.
Did you hear about the husband who let his always late wife miss a big event just to teach her a lesson? So this husband and wife have been together for 5 years, and he is fed up of his wife's chronic lateness to all these events that they have to go to. He finds it extremely annoying and it gets on his nerves. Now to her, it's no big deal because her husband always manages to get her there on time by telling her the time of the event is 45 minutes earlier than it actually is. She's never realized that he does this because she's too caught up with herself and taking photos of herself. That's the reason he says that she's always late. She has a decent following on Instagram and apparently she's hoping to be a content creator. However, he finds it extremely silly that she turns everything that they do into a photo session. And at this point, he stopped agreeing to take her photos altogether. Now, they've had many conversations about this and he's explained to her that he's finding it mentally exhausting having to always stay on top of her and giving her different times to make sure that they stick to the time frame and get to things on time. But she, however, doesn't do anything to address it. So this time round, he decided that he wanted her to experience the consequences of her actions. This month alone, he says they have been embarrassingly late to at least 2 events. And this was the first time that she started to realize that he hadn't been honest about the start time of the event because he used to always tell her 45 minutes earlier than it was meant to start. Now, a week ago, he told her that he wouldn't be doing that anymore and he expected her to act like a responsible adult and to be in control of her time. So fast forward, it's been her birthday weekend and he had bought a ticket to a show where there was going to be several performances, including her favorite artist as the first act. Now, as he already explained to her, he wasn't giving her a 45-minute buffer. He expected her to remember the conversation that they had, that he was not going to control the time and he was not going to give her an earlier start time to make sure she was ready on time. Instead, she was there doing her whole influencer routine, decorating the room, setting up light, getting all dressed up and taking photos. This whole time, he knew that she was missing out on her first favorite artist, all because she didn't take him seriously. He was done with the mental burden of always having to rush and plan everything. So they finally arrived to the show and she realized what has happened, that she has missed her favorite artist. Now she got upset and she was crying, saying how could he do this to her on her birthday. She went on to say that it seemed like he was getting a rise out of how she was upset and that why couldn't he just put his ego aside for this one day that was her birthday. He told her that this was on her and that he explained clearly that he was not going to rush her anymore and that he should have listened to her the first time and expected her to follow through on what he said. She said that the whole point of this event was for her to see her favorite artist, whom they had missed. She was incredibly upset and she kept crying on and off throughout the rest of the show, and the ride home was extremely awkward. When they got home, he was in the downstairs restroom and she sent him a text saying that she wasn't welcome in their bedroom. He ignored this message and went into the bedroom anyway while she was changing. She gave him the dirtiest look when he walked in the room and he just explained to her that she can't tell him not to come into the room because it's his bedroom as well. And that if she's uncomfortable with him being in there, then she should take the couch. She ended up leaving the house altogether to go and visit her mom, and now he's reconsidering whether he's the in this situation. What do you guys think?
Well, what brings me great joy is you have women in the comments saying, are we supposed to be on her side? Because we're not. Like, I think another comment said, you're wrong, sis. I don't care. This is what modern women do. This is what entitlement looks like for modern women. This is why you can't find a man that would want to marry you. This man, a lot of men would call a sucker. And they would say, as a poster child, this is why I will not get married. This is why I will build my life. I will die on this hill, staying single. I will stay single. For some men have been in relationships. They did the whole thing, married, kids, all that stuff, just for the woman at the end. Well, maybe not at the end of their life, but we approaching retirement age for you to take. Can you imagine working for something 25, 30, 35 years, and at the end of it, she takes half of that? And then it goes around town bad-mouthing you, telling your friends how terrible you are, and your friends, oh, I don't know, because she was convincing. She knows that y'all have a connection to those friends, and well, I would never want to see her hurt, and I'm just not sure, and well, I have seen a little bit of this from you, and she tells it from her perspective, and he's the villain. So now he's the villain with no friends, a lot of his money gone. That's it. You've ruined his life. And then you're like, oh, well, it took me 3 to 5 years to really heal. Now I'm in a different relationship and he loves me for me. And I would encourage him to do the same. He's just got to find out true love and move past the hurts and the pains. And, we all make mistakes. It's not a mistake. That's you plotting and scheming against that man. That's you. It's just a child at that point. And modern women continue to say men have to be babysat. They don't communicate effectively. They are emotionally unintelligent. They are not emotionally vulnerable. And then you have stuff like this where the man is saying over and over again to where he's become a parent / babysitter. We got to leave it this time. We got to leave it this time. At some point in time, it would be on you to do what you're supposed to do. That is a very valuable lesson. And he was right. Instead of me sleeping on the couch for something I didn't do wrong, you need to go down there and think about your actions. Period. Somebody in the comments said it's a, quote, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, end quote, version of relationship advice. And this is what men continue to tell modern women when they get in the situation. Listen, we're struggling too. We're having a hard time finding somebody that's for us, that doesn't want us only for our money. You don't have any money. You're broke. What treasure am I taking? Gaslighting. Oh, you're not 6 feet. Gaslight. Oh, you don't have a social circle that or a status that I would want to be a part of. Gaslighting. You can't communicate effectively. You're not emotionally available. You're not emotionally intelligent. Gaslighting. All of these things are just gaslighting. Signs, shame, insults, guilt need to be right. But when it turns back on the women, this is the result of it. You see, I'm upset. I'm angry because you keep on saying stuff that isn't true. You're lying. Just focus on yourself. Just do this, just do that. I agree, I need to focus on myself. I've been doing that. But how did you find your person? Well, I just was out there. But how? What questions did you ask? What are you doing? Because I keep on going on the dates and I can't find anybody. What is your secret sauce? Please give me more information. That's what these women are looking for. That's what they want. But y'all keep on telling them and distracting them until it's too late. And that's what they're frustrated with. You got a woman in the comments to be almost 31 and never been on a date, in a relationship or anything. There's a level of mourning that happens. It's most definitely luck. It's actually not luck, to be honest with you. It's actually not. If it's just two people, that's really all it is. It's two people. Do you have to look for a long time? Probably, but it's just two people saying, hey, let's say I believe in baseball every Saturday. Me too. I believe in football every Sunday. I don't know if I believe in football every Sunday, but it's not a big deal to me. Well, that's not a big deal to you. What's a big deal to you? I personally like going to bingo on Mondays. And if I go with you on Sunday to football, then you got to go on Monday with me to bingo. Oh, man, come on, man. All right, then. It's a deal. That's literally it. Obviously, there's more things that you need to talk about, but that's the simplistic version of it. And then you start asking, what's happening is she's frustrated because she's wasting her time. And you continue to allow these women with your BS advice to waste their time. Modern women are getting tired of it. They're tired of men not approaching them. They're tired of men walking away from dating, leaving dates in the middle of the date, not paying for the date because a man doesn't think that it's worth it. A man not calling, a man not texting, a man ghosting. They're tired of it all because they try to run game on a man and a man is saying, I didn't see this play too many times. I've been watching film. What did I do wrong? You listened to that trash dating coach. That's what you did. Y'all need to start asking questions before y'all even leave the house and stop getting caught up in y'all's feelings.
How can I process my feelings about my partner's reaction after one particular significant life event?
Wow, I can't wait to hear this one. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, so we live nearby, we traveled nearby to a festival, and this happened about a month ago, and there was a shooting, unfortunately.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
I think it's important to note, too, we had a couple of our best friends from Illinois down, and they have 2 kids, so the shooting was particularly sensitive because, of course, we're worried about our own lives, but the lives of the children, because they definitely don't deserve it, right? So after the event, during the shooting, our reaction, everyone's reaction, except for his reaction, was to run in the opposite direction, very similar to how everyone else appeared to react as well. When we got to a place of kind of calming down. We're no longer running. You know, we're at a place where we feel like we're removed from the shooting or the shooter. He casually walks up to us and has a little bit of a grin on his face. And he was really calm about the situation, which made me very uncomfortable, made me upset. And it was not, you know, he felt as if it was a joke, like it was some kids goofing off and you know, just trying to cause a scene. Whereas our reaction is, if it's a joke or not, let's get out of here. And that is what it seemed to be everyone's reaction. So I tried to reason with him, and I can't tell if I'm being unreasonable or if my gut feeling about this whole situation is accurate.
G Trill said, "This is proof you can't make women happy." There's another woman in the comments that said, "Someone who's lived through trauma tends to get very calm during chaos." Jamie, another woman, says, "I really expected her to say he used her as a shield or something, not that he kept his peace." Stupid.